Welcome to a quick tour of the Campaign Finance Institute's historical database of the state laws that govern money and politics. Within the visualization tool, you can build custom queries using drop-down lists. When you first come to the database, the default view shows you donation limits for individual donors to House/Assembly candidates for whatever is the most recent year. For this demonstration, we'll use 2016. But everything will work the same as we add newer years to the top. Let's say you want to know about Kansas limits for 2016. You can hover your mouse over Kansas and see what the limit is for individuals donating to a House/Assembly candidate in 2016. You can hover your mouse over any state to see what the limits are for those states for those variables. The color here shows general categories of values. You can hover over a value to show the states that have those values. You can also look at this grid. The grid shows you these values across states and years. Currently, the view is of the most recent year in the database, but you can use this drop-down menu to select the year. As you can see, that changes what's shown on the map, and it also moves the rectangle down on the grid. You can also click on the grid to switch the year. And so let's say we want to compare the law from 1996 to the law from 2016. We can see sort of what changed by switching back and forth here. We can also sort by value. This gives us a ranking of the states. And when we switch the year, the sorting shifts as well to reflect the data from that year. So that's a brief tour of the way contribution limits are visualized and what you can do. But this is just one field of the database. There are many others. In the Contribution Limits tab, we have this scheme where there's a donor, a recipient, and a branch of government. So let's say you want to see the values, the limits, for contributions from a political action committee to a candidate for the House. You can just select from these menus. And let's say you want to change it to view for the Senate. That's what that looks like. There are other tabs up here. For example, here's the tab for Other Restrictions, Disclosure, or Public Finance. Although the sorting functionality works the same, these tables have simpler query builders, and each page has its own instructions. Each of these pages has a topic-specific explanation and link to a guided tour. And finally, you should know that this visualization covers only a tiny fraction of what you can get from the full database. If you want to download the underlying data for what you are seeing, or even for the whole database, this button will tell you how. It can also take you to a detailed guidebook for everything in the full database. And best of all, you are welcome to use it free of charge as long as you give credit to the Campaign Finance Institute for the years of work that it took to do this. If at any time you need to see this video again or wish to see a guided tour, simply click here. That's our brief tour of the Campaign Finance Institute Law Visualization. Enjoy exploring!